I hate to interrupt all this fun, but good morning and welcome to the Paulding County Board of Commissioners November 12, 2013 work session. Call the meeting to order and welcome all of our guests here today. Thank you for being here. I always like to recognize our elected officials in the room and help me when you see one. I know we have Commissioner Alan Poole from Harrison County here. Thank you. Do we have another elected official in the room? Thank you all for being here. Remind you to turn off all cell phones, Nextels, and pagers as it does interrupt our production. We have Pastor Dan Verborse of West Ridge Church to bring our invocation and pledge. Is Dan here?
Yes, sir.
Dan, you'll come to the lectern. Would you stand with me if you're able?
Bow your heads with me. Father God, Lord of all creation, we thank you for your presence in our lives. Father, I ask you this morning that these elected officials, these servants of the public here, would govern with wisdom, with integrity, with honor, that you would work in their lives to help them, Father, know your way, your truth, and your governance for this county. Thank you that each one of them that I know has a servant's heart and desires not to be big in the eyes of people, but Father, they desire to serve. Help them serve well. Guide these proceedings this morning, Father, with your wisdom. Give them the knowledge they need to make decisions. Help them, Father, to walk upright and boldly before you as men of God. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Join me in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you like to say a couple of other words?
My wonderful friend, Ray Michael, said I would have an opportunity to share a little bit about what we do, who we are. Actually, it has me listed as a pastor at West Ridge Church. I'm actually the director of Kaya Reconciliation Ministries here in the county. We're based over at the Dallas Housing Authority, and we serve the interiorly poor in the county. We have a food pantry there that is open 2 days a week. We started recently a job preparedness training program in partnership with BOC Ministries out of Marietta. Helping Hands, another ministry here in the town, has partnered with us, and they're referring clients to us for that, as well as our budget and finance council. During the summer, we're involved again with BOC Ministries to do a summer lunch program here in the county. This past summer, we were able to put together and deliver 12,242 sack lunches to needy children. Each week, we support 7 of the elementary schools that have backpack programs where they send food home for children that don't have food at home. And each week, we provide a little over 250 bread items to go in those backpacks so they'll have fresh bread at home. We have a Thanksgiving outreach coming up in a week and a half. Our goal is to provide meal bags for 300 families that come. So we're trying to make a small impact to help with the needy here in the county.
That's wonderful. We appreciate you. If somebody wanted to help with that, or another church wanted to be a part of that with you, what's the best way they can get in touch with you?
The best way is our email address, which is info, I-N-F-O, at Kaya Ministries, and Kaya is C-A-Y-A, ministries.com. And there's all of the information on our website is on kayaministries.com, and there's places where you can sign up and give their name and contact information so we can get back in touch with you.
We'll put this on the bottom of the film you said on TV, and hopefully if people want to sign up for that, so they can come and join you. It'd be great.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks. Thanks, Dan. This weekend I was at a benefit and ran into a friend of mine that had been hired by Interroll. I didn't know how quickly they were moving. This is an IBA project that we've worked on, and so I've asked Jamie Gilbert if he would to come give just a quick update. Is Jamie here?
Yeah, he was standing up, you couldn't see him.
On economic development. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Commissioners. It's with great pride and that I come to you all today to give you just a brief update on the Interroll project. We started working with Interroll back in February of 2012. So when this building officially opens, which will probably be later this month, early next month, it'll almost be 2 years from the time we started working on it. And what you can see is nothing, in my opinion, short of amazing for what we've been able to accomplish, not only by winning this project, but by what's going on in what was a former spray field site there on Bill Caruth Parkway. I'm just going to kind of run through, if I could, real quick, some of the slides and give you, actually let's do this. I'm going to let the slides speak for themselves, and we'll run through it, and I'll give you some information here on the project itself. The Interroll facility will be a 92,300 square foot manufacturing showroom facility in our new Class A Paulding Commerce Park. The operation will be manufacturing conveyor systems, and what this project was designed to do was to bring in customers from all over North America so they can actually see the conveyors being manufactured and then watch them in the showroom area in a real working environment. This is something the company has not had the ability to do, and the Atlanta market was a target for them in terms of having a major presence and operation here. Paulding County competed for this project against Fulton, Douglas, Cobb, Carroll, and Gwinnett counties in the state of Georgia. We also competed against Louisville, Kentucky, and Toronto, Canada to win this project. And I will tell you that the Interroll folks are ecstatic about how this project turned out. We owe a lot of thanks to the Industrial Building Authority, which built the road and helped develop the land out there for this project. If it wasn't for the partnership of Interroll and the IBA and Panattoni Development, as well as Paulding County Economic Development, this project would not be opening next month. I want to point out one of the other, there were two really important criteria for this location. One was access for customers and suppliers. So from a customer and supplier and distribution standpoint, the fact that we have some road improvement projects like the East Hiram Parkway and the 278, which is already at 4 and 6 lanes, getting to I-20, getting to I-75, the ability to do that easily was very, very important for the Interroll folks. The second criteria was being able to get their customers into this facility. And there were two things that they looked at. First were the customers from North America that fly commercially. So the presence of Hartsfield-Jackson was an important consideration to be able to bring in folks. They have those direct flights from all over North America. That was an important factor. Also, the international ability to bring in their team from Switzerland was also key. But the other factor, which we're seeing a lot of lately, Interroll, Ronke, and two projects that we're working on actively, one a food processing company called Project Cool, that's the code name for it, and another which is Project 89, have cited our airport, which is now Silver Comet Field, as an important asset in terms of bringing over those customers that are corporate clients that have their own planes and the ability to get them in here at a location that's close to that airport. This site is only 10 minutes from the airport. I can tell you that Project Cool, the owner, or not the owner, but the CEO of that company has his own plane. He's not a pilot, but he has a corporate jet. And as we met with the 5 executives from the company about 3 weeks ago on the Paulding Commerce Park site, they said the importance of having an airport in which they can get their folks into that are flying their own planes or have corporate service. That's going to be important because he's going to go from one facility to the next around the country on that plane. And then on Project 89, the owner is actually a pilot, and as we've been working on a contract to develop, to get them to locate at one site here in the county, which is now Paulding Commerce Park, he's also been talking with the IBA about a hangar lease at the airport for his plane that he will be bringing in. So you can't minimize the importance of access for any of these projects, and we're seeing a growing importance based on the ability to have highway access, but also air service access. So what we're doing at the airport is going to be, I think, strategically important as we move down the road with a number of our projects. So I will take any questions you have about this project. One thing I will mention too is they have already started hiring for the management positions, and they've hired local Paulding County residents for some of those top management positions. Next month, or I'm sorry, not next month, but in the next 2 weeks, they will start the process of beginning the filling of the production positions at the facility. And so I have information here that I can give to anyone here at the meeting that's interested in any of those production jobs, who to contact and how to apply for those jobs. But the goal is to hire as many Paulding County residents as possible, and they have been just completely inundated since the building started coming to fruition out there, and they've actually had a presence there with people coming by and dropping off resumes, and those are Paulding County residents, so we're seeing a return to our folks.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you all.
Minutes, October 22nd, 2013, work session minutes, and October 22nd, 2013, board meeting minutes are available for your review. Under announcements, the Board of Commissioners would like to present the Public Safety Appreciation Award to Christy Fitzgerald with the Marshals Bureau. Would you come forward? Then you come up here and face the firing squad. Leanne's going to tell us a little bit about you.
Good morning. As many of you know, Christy Fitzgerald handles our business licensing for the county. She has been under the Marshal Bureau now for almost 2 years, and this past year has really stepped up in not only her own duties, but many more. One of the biggest projects involved Christy's input and ideas on the ordinance changes. Her outlook and experience helped us put together a new ordinance that ensures we are all in line with state law and fix some issues that needed revised. Christy has also taken on many other duties in relation to the Marshal Bureau as a whole. We have been trying to cross-train everyone in duties that relate to each division, and Christy has jumped in and taken on various duties with the Marshal Bureau, Animal Control, and the airport. Her willingness to take on extra tasks has helped me a great deal, but has also shown she is a team player in all aspects, which makes her a valuable part of our team. So thank you, Christy, for all you do, and I hope you know how much we truly appreciate your hard work.
Thank you. Hey guys, why don't y'all come up from the back? Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Squeeze in. Thank you, Chris. We have Mary Carol Sheffield, Paulding County Extension Coordinator, would like to present the National Association of Natural Resource Extension Professionals the Silver Award for televised educational material for Jody Martin and Jeff Harkins.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm really excited to be here. I'll go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about the award. This is a national award from the Association of Natural Resource Extension Professionals, and it was actually presented at the national conference in September in Pittsburgh, and I wasn't there to receive it, but luckily they sent it on to me. And I nominated our team, Jody and Jeff, and also myself and Rachel Dutton, who's here to help present the award. Because they have really helped us to do a lot of educational programming to help us accomplish the goal of reaching Paulding County citizens with soil and water conservation education. And let's face it, soil and water conservation education does not sound that exciting. But Jeff and Jody really help us make it appeal to people, and they help us reach a really broad audience. So this has been a journey. This was actually a program that we did a couple of years ago, and I've nominated it for several awards, and it won a regional award, and then it won a state award last year, and this is the national award from a whole different organization. So I'm really excited and proud of the work they've put into it, and grateful to them and to you for supporting that partnership. So, congratulations.
Could y'all come up here? Yes.
We have to do camera magic, so I'm going to say this gives us just a few minutes to do a little camera magic while everybody's moving around. But thank you so much, Mayor Carroll, for believing in us. And we're humbled and honored to do this and serve our community and serve the other departments. And as we've always said, we have the best job in the world, and we would like to continue to do that and serve you all well. So thank you very much.
Hope our processing goes up because they got
Global domination is next.
It's my pleasure now to have a great invited guest today, the Association of County Commissioners of Georgia, the ACCG District 1 representative, and the Haralson County Board of Commissioners, Alan Poole. Would you come forward? Alan represents one of the 12 districts in the state. It's a great position. We call meetings together. There's 536 cities in the state and 159 counties. And so this is an area of Association of County Commissioners for this whole first district of the 12. Alan, I think you had a couple words to share.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, fellow board members, and all our guests. I'm Alan Poole. I'm chairman of the Haralson County Board of Commissioners. Also, I'm ACCG District 1 representative. I rise today in support of the economic development and the expansion of the Paulding Northwest Atlanta Airport. As you all may have heard this weekend, I think the economic region is growing. We've heard that the actual Atlanta Braves being moved to Cobb County, and I think it's something that we can all look forward to. I'm an avid supporter of economic development. According to GDOT, this is the first airport construction since 1975. Airports in the state of Georgia generates about $137 million per year in taxes, revenue in the form of ad valorem, and also aircraft fuel sales. Because of your foresight, I believe the entire region will benefit from the expansion of this airport. The Paulding Airport is comparable to the Albany, Georgia Airport, which has an economic impact of over $54 million, and it also includes about 548 jobs with a payroll of over $17 million. The Paulding Airport is projected to have a similar impact to this region. Our county has reduced the employment rate from 9.4 to 8.4 in the last year due to the transient workforce of our county. And our people look to other counties as far as Paulding County, Carroll County, and counties that's growing through economic development. And we appreciate the opportunity for you all to help us continue to lower our unemployment rate. The jobs added means a whole lot to us. We've lost several companies, the Ball Company, the rubber plant, and we continue to lose jobs. But as we as a region move forward, I think this will help us in the long term, because we got to grow ourselves out of this recession. And by sitting back waiting on the government to impact us in such a way with handouts and stimulus packages, I don't think that's going to work for the long term. I think we got to grow our way out of this recession, and I think you guys have had the foresight to help us do that. In closing, I'd like to say that in our meeting in December, I will propose to the Board of Commissioners that we pass a resolution that we fully support the expansion and anything that we can do to help further development with the Paulding County Airport. With that said, Mr. Chairman, thank you so much. Thank you to the board for what you do, and it's going to help the region, and I appreciate you guys to continue to move things forward.
Thank you.
Anything?
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. I'd like to take a quick moment to thank Chuck Martin, that's Jody's husband. He was the guest speaker yesterday at the Veterans Day celebration. He did a wonderful job as a veteran, and it was a great day for the American Legion and a great celebration. That's done every year. Up on behind the Wind Building is a memorial. So I'd like to thank all of our veterans. If you're a veteran in the room, would you please stand? Thank you so much. And Commissioner Carmichael, I believe you had a birthday.
The United States Marine Corps turned 238 on the 10th, very close to Veterans Day. I know you all think I look that old.
Hoorah.
Sometimes known as America's 911 force. It's a small force, but certainly has forces stationed around the world today. And just very honored to serve in the Marine Corps.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Thank you. Bid awards, discuss action to award the bid to construct the airport fire station E911 emergency operations center facility to the parent low bidder, Prime Contractors Incorporated, in the amount of $3,287,377.82 using SWASH and E911 funds. Tabitha and Chuck.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'll cover the bids and Chuck can touch on the projects a little bit. On Friday, November the 1st, we received 4 bids to construct this fire station and 911 BOC facility. The apparent low bidder was Prime Contractors out of Douglasville. They did certify as an LBE with the amount 51%, having a minimal amount of 51% of their subs. They had just over that. They were the only ones to certify, and they were the low bidder as well. So, we're recommending award in the amount of $3,287,377.82 to Prime Contractors.
LBE means local business enterprise, and for every taxpayer that owns a business that bids, there is a 10% advantage. There's about 3 ways to be an LBE. Number of people that work in the company that live here, number of contractors doing the work, and if the business is headquartered here. So that's a 10% advantage, but in that case, it was not needed. They were the low bid.
That's correct.
Right, but the advantage is they don't get to be at 10% higher. They get the opportunity, if they're within 10%, to lower their price to whoever was the low bidder. correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Chuck?
Commissioners, again, this going to prime contractors. The bid came in within where we were at with our budget. Feel like we've got a good contractor set up. Again, this facility is going to be not only a fire station, it's also going to be the emergency operations center as well as the new E911 facility. Back, it's probably 12 months or longer, we got to talking about needs of a new 911 facility, and as we went through the process, we ended up combining both of these projects. We knew we needed a fire station in this area, so this is a dual purpose or triple purpose facility, and ready to start on it with y'all's blessing. Any other questions about the facility, I'll be more glad to answer for you.
The current facility is shared with the sheriff's area, and they're out of space, so it's an excellent time to help the sheriff expand his area. We've had to use this more than we ever dreamed. In 2009, we had the 500-year floods, we had a tornado, and then we've had the ice storm. So we've had to be in the center more than we ever dreamed we'd have to be, but again, a new modernized facility will be wonderful, so thank you very much. And the fire station does serve not only the airport, but the entire community. So once it's constructed, I have my fire chief back in the back, but once it's constructed, I think within 30 days, you can submit an application to your insurance company to have your insurance reduced. This happens to fall in the area that we need an airport in between Yorkville fire station between Yorkville Fire Station and the Dallas Fire Station. So this will help lower your insurance rates. Anything else we need to know?
Chuck, could you let us know let the public know what the amount is for maybe just coming from Splosh and then from the E911 funds? Is there a,
That's going to be a tactical question. I'm good at spending the money, but she tells us
we know that?
Yeah.
Thanks, Tabitha.
This project's going to come mostly from SPOST. 911 has a minimal amount of funds within their fund balance that they can use for this project. However, they have some additional expenses that they're going to incur due to the move. So it will depend on how those come in as to how much he's got. Currently, their fund balance is $900,000. Their minimum is $500,000. So they have up to $400,000 that they can use towards this project, in addition to the other items that they'll have to purchase.
Now, all the new equipment, that's already been purchased, or the bid,
No, sir, it has not been
okay,
purchased.
because we held that bid
We
out,
put it
so
on.
they've got to
We're
purchase all the
actually
new
going to rebid
stations.
all of that equipment.
Thank you.
Number 2, discuss action to award the site work for the sheriff's training facility to Astro Group in the amount of $1,088,000 using SPLOST funds. Tabitha.
On November 1st, we also had the sheriff's training facility to bid. We were satisfied with the earth moving, but not the building. So we're going to rebid the building project, and we're asking for you to award the grading in the amount of $1,088,000, and this will be SPLOST funds.
Now, if I understand your spreadsheet, you only had 3 bidders and no one bid the whole package.
That's correct. That's why we're going to go back and start over with the building.
Okay. But Astra was the only one that did site work, but it was below the engineer's estimate.
That's correct. It was below the engineer's estimate, so they felt like it was a good bid.
Thank you. Reports from committees and department. Again, it's great to have Mary Carol Sheffield from Paulding County Extension to talk about the accomplishments for 2012-13.
Thank you. I really appreciate your support, Sean, and it's really just what I'm here to say thank you and let you know what we've been doing. I hope everybody got a copy of the 2012-2013 annual report, and I was just going to highlight a few things. I'm going to take up a whole lot of time. Each year we conduct programming for outreach to adults and youth in our community. I think we're really well known for our 4-H programming, but we also do a lot of adult programming. And as I said before, we nominated Jody and Jeff for the award because they really help us with our soil and water conservation outreach. And even though that's not an exciting topic, it's a really important topic for the water department and for development. It's important for us to show that we're doing the best that we can to conserve our soil and water conservation resources. So I appreciate the partnerships that I have with other departments within the county. And I want to recognize my Master Gardener Extension volunteers for last year contributing almost 3,700 hours of volunteer time. And that volunteer time is spent teaching programs to the public, working with Jody and Jeff on television programming, working with youth programming, and doing general outreach. And it has a value of $72,000 for the year. And they are on track to surpass that amount of volunteer time for this year. Paulding County residents in the past year have pledged to save more than 41,000 gallons of water daily through the promotion of the 40-gallon challenge, and we've worked closely with the water department to do that, to educate people about ways they can conserve water in their homes and outside their homes. We also each year have been conducting Spring Forward Paulding, which is a festival celebrating all things soil and water conservation. So we're really trying to make it fun and trying to get people engaged. And I hope you'll mark your calendars for 2014 when we'll conduct Spring Forward Paulding again on March the 22nd. And we publicize it as everything local, green, and sustainable. And I think this year's theme is going to be live, learn, local. So we try to highlight things that are very local. And our 4-H program does remain one of the largest in the state, and also not just the largest, but we also have been recognized for our leadership and project area expertise at the district and state level with 2 of our 4-Hers, Liz Dennis and Hannah Rule, winning state awards. Our 4-H agent, Brittany Kelly, is dynamic and innovative, and she's brought new programming to the table to meet the needs for science, technology, and engineering and math for youth in our community. We have a robotics team now, we have a 4-H Envirocon team, we have a Life Smarts team, and we also have our traditional ag science components of forestry and poultry. So we're really proud of that programming, and this year we were able to engage with United Way and gain support for that programming for materials and supplies to continue and expand those teams. And then additionally, this year we received temporary funding through the AmeriCorps program to give us an additional staff member, which is much needed to meet with all the 4-H clubs that we keep in the county. We have a school-based program in every 5th grade classroom, and we continue to do that. We've added a homeschool club, and we also meet with middle schools and have a senior club. I just want to thank you for all your support.
Thank you,
Really appreciate it.
excellent job.
Thanks.
Thank you. Consent agenda action, the 10 consent agenda items. November 12th consent agenda. Number 1, Animal Control Hearing Board, term ending 12/31/14. Lynn Jackson, appointed by the chairman. Post 1 to be determined, Jenny Dickerson, appointed by Post 2. Post 3 to be determined, Dana Battle, appointed by Post 4. Cemetery Preservation Commission, term ending 12/31/14. Hugh Walters, appointed by the chairman. Post 1 to be determined, J.P. Denton, appointed by Post 2. Post 3 to be determined, Van Westbrook, appointed by Post 4. The Board of Equalization, term ending 12/31/16. Alternate number 1, Leroy Phillips, reappointed. Alternate number 6, Paul Taylor, appointed. Number 4, Fire Advisory Board, term ending 12/31/14. Jimmy McAdams, appointed by the chairman. Brad Butler, appointed by Post 1 Commissioner. Don Powell, appointed by Post 2. Post 3 to be determined, Joe Combs, appointed by Post 4 Commissioner. Number 5, Keep Paulding Beautiful, ending 12/31/16. Bruce Coyle, appointed by the chairman. Judd Sewell, appointed by Post 1. Joey Collins, appointed by Post 2. And Tracy Bond is the business representative. Library Board of Trustees appointment, Nanette Lee, term ending 12/31/17. Number 7, subdivision streets accepted for perpetual maintenance. Valentine Point, Phase 1, Unit B, Baywood Lane, Baywood Way, Bluff Court, and Birch Street. Valentine Point, Phase 1, Unit C, Baywood Lane. Number 8, approve the proposed application and public hearing dates for the Planning Commission and the Zoning Board of Appeals and the Development Waiver Review Committee for the 2014 calendar year. And you have those dates published.
They will be by 2.
By 2, okay. Number 9, adopt the 2014 Paulding County Board of Commissioners regular meeting schedule. That will be posted. Number 10, approve the memorandum of agreement between the City of Hiram Georgia, Paulding County, Georgia, to implement watershed monitoring activity required by the Metropolitan North Georgia Water Planning District and the Georgia Environmental Protection Division. Gentlemen, would you like to move any of these items to regular session?
I have a couple questions. The Board of Equalization, those two people are actually appointed by the grand jury. All
By
we
the
do
grand
is
jury.
nominate them. And then on the memorandum of understanding with Highland, any fees that we charge, we keep, but all the other stuff that we do for them is at no charge, correct? Which is basically monitoring. We answer calls. As far as actually fixing a drainage issue, Hiram actually fixed it, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. There's no old business, no new business. That's the conclusion of our regular business session. There's no executive session. Citizens wishing to speak, we have Linda Bashir with the Family Alliance of Paulding. Thank you, Linda. Thank you for the job you do.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you, Chairman Austin and Commissioners, for giving me the opportunity to speak with you this morning. I've written down what I'm going to say this morning. I know that most of you know that's a little unusual for me. Usually I tend to just say what's on my mind, but considering I only have 5 minutes, I decided that I needed to write it down since I could talk about the Family Alliance all day. I know that you all are familiar with the great organization that the Family Alliance is. What I want to share with you this morning is what a financial asset we are to Paulding County, and most importantly, to the children and families of Paulding County. I've given you a packet to go through. Everyone has it. I have an extra one in case somebody else needs it, which I hope you will take quite a bit of time to look through. It contains information on our history, who we are today, the programs and classes that we provide to the community, data, and statistics. What it doesn't provide is a look at the faces of our children and families, people that count on the Family Alliance and staff every single day for the last 7 years. We have made a difference in this community. I have also added what it would have cost Paulding County to provide the services that we have provided since 2006. In my mind, of course, you can't put a price tag on changing lives, making lives better, reuniting families, educating someone so that they never do drugs. To me, that's priceless. There were a few of the slides that I would like to share and some statistics. Approximately 1 in 3 people in Paulding County is under the age of 21. Considering the work we do with families and children, that's significant. 2011 Kids Count data for Paulding County reported that 16.4% of children in Paulding County live in poverty. 25% of children in Paulding reside in single-family homes. In 2005 and 2006, meth was rampant in Paulding County. 2006, Meth Alliance of Paulding began providing education for free. That's something that I really want to make clear, is that all the training that we've done, me personally, on many terms, along with Dina Davis, in our schools and on our sheriff's departments, to our community, we have never ever charged for that. And then also in 2009, we opened the Welcome Home Center. We are only reimbursed 42% for the supervised visitations that we do. Year to date, we've done over 2,500 hours of visitation and have transported over 17,000 miles. So that's pretty significant. We are only reimbursed 42% of that. We are also getting ready, as you know, in 2011, we housed the GED program and the English as a second language, and then they moved to the old courthouse. They are also running out of space there, and we're getting ready to have them do some day and evening classes back in the Family Alliance Center as well. And we also are getting ready to have the Foster Parent Association come under us as one of our programs in order to help them do some marketing and some training for their foster parents. So as much as it comes from my heart with our children as family, as well as you, I know you're all businessmen and you need to see a bottom line, and that you're responsible to our community as stewards of our finances and budget. But I am also a steward of the Family Alliance. I have a board that puts their trust in me. Many of them are here. Thank you for your support. I have a staff that are also here that count on me and the Family Alliance for their paycheck. Our consumers count on me as well to continue to provide services to them. And let me make it also clear, we don't lack for business. There are new drugs that I learn about every single day. There are new children out there that need to be taught the dangers of drugs so that hopefully they will turn away and not look back. We have families that need supervised visits every day. We have a waiting list. So lack of business, as you might say, is not the problem. It's keeping up with providing these services to our clients. It's funding. It's funding to continue to provide top-notch programs, classes, training. And we are having a hard time continuing to provide these services. Everything does have a price tag, and we are being very close to have to shut our doors. Our staff needs paid, utilities need paid, and that has become an issue for us. I cannot, in good conscience, continue to our staff to give them a paycheck. And let me make it clear, we are not in this for the money. I have also provided in the left-hand side of your packet, we're very open and honest what myself and my staff make. I'm sure you will agree it's very conservative. And I can't ask Comcast, Gas South, Georgia Power, and the City of Hiram to provide the services to us when I cannot pay them. So this basically comes down to the fact that I believe in the end we have saved the county incredible amounts of money over the last 7 years. You'll see on the left-hand side also in the PowerPoint slides, based on what it would cost per hour for all of the services that we do. I've investigated that. That's in there. And if we go away, what will the community do? Who will they call? Again, I thank you for your time and for listening to what we say. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lynette. We appreciate your job.
Mr. Chairman, before we go on, if I could just address the board with something. Linda, I appreciate you bringing that to us. Julie and I are foster parents in the county. One of the things they provide is a service where they basically supervise the visits of children that are in foster care. And just so you know how that kind of works is, let's just say a sibling group of 3 come into foster care. A lot of times those 3 kids do not go to the same home. That's the goal, but a lot of times that doesn't happen. And then they come into foster care to de facto custody for a reason. Typically it's because mom and dad have some issues. Could be, a lot of it's drug related. Dad could be in jail, mom could be somewhere up the road. But long story short, a lot of times these kids, they have to have visitations with their family, and they have to have visitation with their siblings. So if those children are in separate homes, that's a visitation they have to have. Sometimes mom and dad aren't in the same home, or it doesn't work out that mom and dad can be together for obvious reasons. So they've got to have a visit with mom and then a visit with dad. Some of these have to be supervised visits because of protection of everybody. Long story short, DFACS cannot handle all the supervised visits. They can't do it. The caseworkers cannot do it. It's humanly impossible. Sometimes you've got foster parents that can take that role on and can go, and they've got a good relationship with the parents of the kids that they're keeping, and they can meet up at McDonald's and they can do these visits. That's very few and far between. A lot of times that just doesn't work out. But long story short, our DFACS in our county and in our state cannot do everything that needs to be done. These visits should be weekly. We try to make sure they're bi-weekly. Sometimes it's further apart than that. But these kids deserve to see one another. They deserve to see their parents. And if you've ever had a foster kid in your home, no matter how bad the situation was that kid came out of, mom and dad are still the best. It's hard for us to understand that, but mom and dad are still the best, and they've got to have those visits. And what y'all provide there is just unreal, what you provide and the level of service that you give. And there's no way we could put a price tag on it. DFACS has kind of been on the front page here lately with some cases in our state. Personally, some of us have sat around the table and we've said this was coming because services have been cut and cut and cut and cut. And what happens is that state level services are cut, the caseworkers are overloaded, so therefore these services get put somewhere, or they don't get done, and then what happens on the news continues to happen. And so the five of us we don't meet other than right here. And so I would like to see us do something to help support this group because I think time is of the essence. And we're going to take care of these kids one way or another sooner or later. And we're going to take care of these families one way or another sooner or later. And it's a whole lot easier for us to do what we need to do today and now than it is to wait and let a service like this go by the wayside. And I know right now our support to you is very small. And I would like to see commissioners, this board, react and do something. And I know this may be a little bit out of order, but bottom line is, when there's a need out there, an emergency in the community, we seem to be able to find a way to take care of it. And I personally have seen that there's a need and this is an emergency, and I think we need to find a way to do it. We've got today's meeting, and we've got one in December, and I would like to see us do something for the Family Alliance that we can, something now, and then we can do something else later, but I would like to see this board do something for the Family Alliance here before the end of this year. I'm asking y'all.
The check I gave you the other day was for, the amount was, what was our amount?
It's $5,000.
$5,000, okay. Just to clarify, and Tabitha, let's take a look and see where, and as a board, we'll look at that and to see what we might do.
Well, I think there's a lot of people, Lindy, yourself, your help, Dan this morning, there's a lot of people in this county that do a lot of things for the kids, backpack programs, that a lot of people don't realize what kind of shape our kids are in this county, that we just take for granted, that we're good at home and everything else is good around us. So, but I say there's a lot of stuff coming up this time of year, Christmas and everything, that a lot of kids are impacted during the holiday seasons where they do not get no food that week because they're out of school. They don't get fed correctly, and parents and everything. But I mean, I agree. I mean, if we can help, we need to.
Because I know you gentlemen cannot all meet together. If any of you need for me to come and meet with you individually, I will be happy to do that, to answer any questions.
As soon as I handed her a check, she said, I need to ask you for another one. So,
You're a 501c3.
I love you and what you do.
Thank you.
You're a 501c3, so anybody that gave a donation, so we can also put your website, I assume you have electronic giving through your website?
Yes, sir, we do.
With PayPal or credit cards?
Yes, sir.
So we can put her website on our, at the bottom, so anybody can log on, they can give money. I assume on your website they have access to your financials that are required to have 501c3, so they can see where they spend your money, so that the public could also assist.
That's right. We're very transparent. I'd be happy to share our budget to any of you. And we're the Family Alliance of Paulding.org.
Also, Mike, you and Mike Jones and Michael Carter, isn't there a way for them to give to this organization through their water bill? Also, is that another fund?
The ability exists. We have one donation now that goes to the Child Advocacy Center, but it's possible.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This time, citizen wishes to speak, J.W. Louis, Fire Station Bid Award.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm not a public speaker. I'm not as slick as Mr. Gilbert here as far as my presentations, but I'm just a normal citizen of Paulding since 2004. I own my own business here, and I'm speaking on behalf of my fellow citizens. First off, I thank you for taking your valuable time to allow me to address concerns in regards to the issue of the bid construction contract for the new fire station at the Paulding County Airport. The low bid being $3.3 million. Utilizing the SPOS tax and E911 funds to support this new station, those funds could also be used for a number of other public safety issues, DOT projects, improving our roads, and parks and recreation projects that were already on the schedule. My concern is the timing. Are these funds being diverted from these other public projects to support the private, non-approved FAA commercial expansion of the airport that was just announced 6 weeks ago? The Paulding Northwest Airport has been functional and in operation since 2004 without any fire station to support it. Is this new fire station connected to the expansion underway? Again, with taxpayer dollars, with no public input. Also confusing is that the City of Dallas is providing the main fire truck that is to be used at a cost at $50,000 to the City of Dallas to the Paulding Airport expansion. There is a crossover from the City of Dallas and Mayor Boyd Austin to provide $50,000 of his city's assets to support the county's airport expansion. Mayor Boyd Jr. is the Vice Chairman of the Paulding County Airport Authority. He is also the Chairman of the Paulding Industrial Building Authority. Mayor Boyd Jr. is also Chairman David Austin's brother. I don't need to inform any longtime Paulding residents of these relationships, but there is an overlapping conflict of interest in our county's policies on many levels. Why is this commercial airport expansion so beneficial to Paulding when a similar proposal from Propeller Investments was rejected by the Gwinnett County Board of Commissioners in June of 2012? The majority of Paulding residents have had no information about this proposed commercial expansion from you, our Board of Commissioners. This major decision affects all residents of Paulding. You are handing over a major county asset to a private venture capitalist firm out of New York without informing your residents. Why? Committing taxpayer funds today that might bring a vague number of jobs with the hope of an FAA reimbursement in the future? From the few scant tidbits of information that you can find about Propeller Investments, there is no evidence of that firm managing any commercial projects of this scope with any success. Airport Director Blake Swafford, who initiated this deal with Propeller, does not live in Paulding. But his decisions influencing airport operations will not affect his family, but Mr. Swafford's actions affect all of Paulding's families. If Director Swafford lived in Post 2 instead of Cobb County, would his motivations be a little different? Possibly. The airport is not in his backyard, but it is in ours. Where is this going to stop? I have an article quoting District 30 State Senator Mike Dugan, who supports the proposed commercial expansion and would like to see other alternative forms of transportation expanded in Paulding, including rail service. Quote, "It would be nice to see MARTA extend out here," Dugan said. I ask again, where is this going to stop? We want to trust in your leadership of this county for all of its residents, but I appeal to you to govern Paulding in a manner that Chairman Austin campaigned on 5 years ago, and I quote, "I have sought to provide openness and transparency about the operation of our county government. Committing our county resources without public input from Paulding residents does not equate to openness and transparency. People in this county are now becoming aware of the commercial expansion plan that you approved a year ago with no public input. Code words and closed-door meetings do not count. We now live in fear and intimidation because of a lack of information from you. The FAA has not approved this commercial expansion plan, so it is not a done deal by any means. We all want what is best to provide new jobs and income to Paulding, but does it have to be dependent on an already rejected plan from New York? In closing, I appreciate that Pastor Dan opened up this meeting today with his invocation. I believe all of you on this board are godly men. The Paulding Airport has repeatedly been referred to as God's airport. While preparing to speak before you this morning, this piece of scripture was given to me. Proverbs 10:9. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you very much. Matthew 25 is talking about the talents of the Bible. And the man that buried the talent and did nothing with it was punished. The man that took 10% was rewarded. I'm going to take a moment of executive privilege. The paper that you see behind me is today's Marietta Journal. Now, as y'all probably heard yesterday, as well as I did, it was a shock to me to hear that the Atlanta Braves was moving to Cobb County. And I have to tell you, the word confidential ought to be written across the front of this page, because they dealt very confidentially, not in secret, but in confidence, to move this facility to Cobb County. And I applaud them for what they did. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second. All in favor, say aye. 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 Thank you all for being here.